As hunters, we scout for a good hunting spot, we practice our shooting skills, and prepare our freezers for some high quality meat. We do all of this in high anticipation of the next deer season to put ourselves within shot distance of a whitetail, and every deer we pull the trigger on deserves our complete attention with regard to shot placement and follow-up. There are volumes written on shot placement, and NDA's video is one of the best educational tools ever created. However, there are far fewer materials available on what to do after the shot. How long should you wait before pursuing the deer? How likely is it to go toward water or downhill? How do you go about finding it? The answers to these and other questions vary depending on where you hit the deer, how soon rain is forecasted, and a few other variables. First, sometimes our eyes can deceive us. Using a lighted nock and filming your hunt are two great ways to increase confidence in the assessment of where you hit your deer. If you film it, have a friend hold the camera or mount it in a tree rather than on your weapon so that the footage doesn't shake at the most critical moment. Watch and listen to the sound of the impact. Did it crack like bone? Thud like the sound of a body cavity? Watch the deer's body language. If it stops, its tail a lot, and walks away, it has most likely been hit in the liver or the guts. If it bolts, it's probably a good vital hit or maybe bone. Stay quiet, watch, and listen to the deer's direction of travel, and use landmarks to note the last points seen or heard. You might hear the sound of the deer coughing or crashing into a thicket. Check your video if you have one, and check your arrow. Take pictures of it. If the arrow passed through the deer, there's a good chance of recovery. Use the blood or stomach material present on the shaft and fletching to estimate where you hit the deer and how long you should wait before retrieving it. Look at the blood on the arrow. If it is bright red, it's either from vitals or muscle. Lung blood can be pink and frothy, but not always. Dark blood is usually liver or guts, and green or brown matter is from the digestive tract. Smell the arrow. As you can imagine, stomach contents have a different odor than blood. Check for hair that fell off at the impact site. What part of the body did it come from? White fur comes from the underside and could indicate a single lung shot if you hit forward of the diaphragm. Check the beginning of the blood trail. Take pictures of it. How much artery and heart shots leave a lot of blood. If you've hit a deer there, it won't be far. Are there bone fragments? That is usually an indicator of a non-lethal leg shot. You should start tracking these deer immediately and look for a follow-up shot. Now, add up all the clues. Where do you think you hit the deer? This will determine how long you should wait before picking up the trail. It is important to wait the appropriate amount of time to avoid pushing that deer farther away. If you hit a deer forward of the diaphragm, meaning in the lungs or heart region, then there is nothing to be gained by waiting a long time before you can track it. If you hit a deer in the heart or lungs with a firearm, simply wait a few minutes and then take up the trail. If you're archery hunting, then waiting 15 to 30 minutes is advised. Now, contrary to this, if you hit a deer behind the diaphragm, meaning in the stomach region, then you should wait at least 8 hours before pursuing. This is because stomach shot deer need additional time to expire. Wait 8 to 10 hours for liver and even 10 to 12 hours for gut shot deer. They will often bed rather quickly, so give them plenty of time and your tracking job will be much easier. If you think you hit a single lung and you have room to do so, pushing the deer may result in a recovery. Deer are amazingly tough critters and can sometimes survive on a single lung, but running with a fresh wound and only half the oxygen may help them expire or offer an opportunity for a follow-up shot. Now that you've waited the appropriate amount of time, it's time to hit the trail. First, make sure you have a good flashlight and some flagging tape or clips to mark your trail. If you want to use something that's biodegradable so that you don't have to go back and collect it, try using bits of toilet paper. Ideally, you can get some friends and a blood tracking dog where legal to help. And when following a blood trail, go slowly, making sure not to disturb the evidence. Scan the area ahead of you and listen closely for clues that help locate your deer. Shine your flashlight ahead. If you see the reflection of a deer's eyes looking back at you, back out quietly. the deer will likely expire in that spot. On hard to follow blood trails, it's best if one person marks the last spot of blood while others search on hands and knees if necessary ahead for the next drop. Once found, the person marking the last spot then can move forward and you continue to search for the next drop. Can you see the deer's tracks? Are they running or walking? If they are walking, they may be getting ready to bed down. Here are several tips learned from tracking thousands of wounded deer. Wounded deer do climb hills. The old adage that wounded deer won't go uphill is completely false. Deer follow their typical patterns and they want to get to where they know they're secure. So if secure cover is uphill from where they are when they get shot, don't be surprised to see them go uphill. Wounded deer behavior changes during the season. As I said earlier, deer want to get to where they know they're secure. So if it's early in the archery season and deer are still on their summer routine, this can be very close to familiar cover and they may not go far when hit. Conversely, if they are shot during the rut or when they're on an excursion, they may attempt to travel literally hundreds or thousands of yards to get back to their preferred cover. So keep time of year in mind when you start on a blood trail. Double lung hit deer can travel quite a distance. We love to see a rifle shot deer drop in its tracks or an arrow shot deer drop in sight, and understanding shot placement and appropriate shooting practice can greatly aid in these short trackings. However, not all great shots end with a short blood trail. Occasionally, a deer that was shot through both lungs can travel up to 200 yards. Stomach shot deer may go to water. All wounded deer do not gravitate to water, but stomach shot deer may do so. However, it's not always a direct line to creeks or springs or ponds. They often take a circuitous route through heavy cover, traveling up or downhill to get there. High back shots are often unsuccessful. The vital region of a deer does not extend all the way up to the top of their backs, and many high back shots are not fatal. Even high back shots from a firearm that may knock the deer to the ground. If the deer is hit in front of the diaphragm and it lives for more than a half hour and goes for more than a half mile, then you're unlikely to recover it. If you bump the deer, then you probably hit it somewhere other than where you initially thought. Immediately back out and just wait the appropriate amount of time. Assume that you've hit the deer somewhere, like the guts, that will require a 10 to 12 hour wait, and simply subtract that time that has already passed from when you took your shot. If you lose the trail of a gut shot deer, go in the direction you last saw them. The deer will often be found not too far ahead. If you went in the direction of the deer but still can't find it, you can try to get a blood tracker to bring their dog. If you can't get a tracker, do a grid search. Many deer that couldn't be blood trailed have been found while searching the area around where you last saw them or last found blood. As hunters, we should do everything possible to make a clean shot and to ensure quick kill and short recovery. In the real world though, things can go wrong. And when they do, we owe it to the animal to do everything in our power to obtain the follow-up shot and or recover the animal as quickly as possible. Okay, you found your deer. Now what? Well, first, congratulations. Be happy, smile. Take those with you. Hug them if you want to. This is a really emotional time, so soak it all in and enjoy the moment. You have just had a great experience and acquired some high quality protein. Next, you want to get the deer field dressed and the meat taken care of as quickly as possible. For more information on shot placement and shot follow-up, visit the National Deer Association's website at deerassociation.com. Be safe in the woods and good luck on your next blood trail.
To learn more, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or head over to www.deerassociation.com. This video is part of the official NDA Deer Hunting 101 online course with Today's Hunter. For the full course, go to www.todayshunter.com/Deer 101. This Deer 101 digital series has been a Bearded Buck production.